Well, hello YouTube. It's another rainy day. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Got the door shut. It's maybe I should be building an ark versus an airplane right now. But yeah, it's storming pretty good. But what better day to get into the shop and get organized? I don't know if you guys know, but the wing kit showed up yesterday or 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Got it unloaded, got all the big parts inventoried and got them up on the shelf and everything. All the skins we have in the storage in the other shop. So those are sitting over there. Got the spars way down here. You see them right there, sitting there behind the benches. But more importantly, we got a table of small parts. So today is the day of counting small parts, breaking small bags, getting things organized, getting rivets put up, checking them off. Now I did verify all the parts are here, or the bags. Now I've got to go in and get the individual pieces. And let me explain something to you. If typically Vans, and this is pretty self-explanatory, but it's not, Vans will ship you multiple parts in a bag. And so you got one or two options. You can go through and count each one of these, or actually, I'll show you what you can do. It's science. I'd like to take credit for this, but actually it was a guy at EAA said, why are you doing that? Why are you counting every part? It's like, because Vans tells me to. He said, yeah, but weigh it. So I'll show you how you do that. But here's a great example. Supposed to have 300 of these guys. You think I'm going to count all of these out? The old Jeff would have. The smarter Jeff will not. And let me show you what I'm going to do. So that's a great segue. All right, so here you go, YouTube. Here's a great example talking about weight. So here's part number 1203. So bag number 1203-1 is 80 of these little nuts, right? So what I do is I get myself a scale, drop it on there, and that's roughly, take it off again, let me zero it out. I mean, it's roughly 2 grams per nut, right? So if it's 2 grams per nut, if I have 80, I should have at least 160 grams. And I've got 180, so there you go. That tells me that I got more, unless I got lead shot in here, which I doubt Vans has done. So that's a quick way. Obviously, the more precise, this is a kitchen scale. If you can get a scientific scale that goes out some more decimal points, that would actually work better for you, but this is the one I had. So this is how I do the bulk stuff, all the bulk parts that come together. Now, naturally, you're gonna have, like this one here, you're gonna have to break them down because Vans has little guys in with big guys, in with bigger guys. So you're still gonna have to break these down. But this will allow you to take some of these bags here, these bags that just have, that aren't mixed with parts, that are single parts, and allow you to just weigh them out. Here's another one, they got different parts. But this will actually speed up the process. So, you know, get yourself a scale, preferably if you can get one that goes out more decimal points. You know, in a gram would probably, you know, I prefer metric. I prefer metric. So if you can get one that goes out a little bit further and stuff, you know, then that way you can just weigh them, and then it will save you from a whole lot of counting. All right, YouTube, I got the inventory done. 3 days. 3 days of small stuff going through the packing list. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sustainers. And when I say sustainers, I mean, so I got all the parts labeled and put in a proper area. I like these rigid sustainers, and the reason being, especially like with these washers, the way that these lips come down, they actually capture, so you're not going to get washers into the, especially these smaller washers right here, into one of those other ones when you tilt them up like that, because of the design of the sustainer itself. So yep, so I got it done. Didn't want you to think I was slacking. But I had to do the inventory. Not too bad. I think there was only parts missing. Two of the parts, they shipped me, a van shipped me the same part twice instead of a right and a left. And so that was about it. And then we are missing one set of washers, a whole unit of washers. So not too bad. But like I said, got them in the sustainers, counting them out, checking them. I realized that the scale just didn't work for counting them. Here, let me switch around. This way you can look at my ugly mug. I don't know if you want to. So the what was I talking about? Oh, the scale. The scale wasn't precise enough. So they do make counting scales. I'm a little bit late in the process here because my next set of parts that are coming in is going to be the quick build. So I'm not going to go out and spend $160 for a tar or a scientific scale. I have a scientific scale at the house, but it's not working. I don't know what's going on with it. So, you know, the kitchen scale just not precise enough to do the each count, so I did end up having to count them. And yeah, that's what took so long, 3 days counting parts. But if you're going to build an RV, I would highly recommend that you get a Tare, T-A-R-A, Tare, T-A-R-E, T-A-R-E, Tara, not Tar, a Tare scale, and then that way you can, or a precision scale, that way you can just do it that way. Or you're gonna be like me, you're gonna spend 3 days counting, sorting, making labels. Definitely need to get a label maker. We talked about that before, to store these, to make the labels. And it's easier. I did it the first time where I just pulled them out of the bag as I needed them. The problem with doing that is vans will intermix like 8 or 9 different parts, and the part numbers make 0 sense. And if you try to Google them, well, they make sense to somebody, but not to me. But if you try to Google the part, you know, it doesn't give you, sometimes it'll give you the dimension and stuff. The only way that you're going to know that you have the right part is by the count. So when you open the bag up, you'll have 8 of one, 10 of another, 12 of another. And that's how you know, is that you know that 12 goes with this. 8. Sometimes, though, on this last bit, you would have 8 of the same, 8 washers. And you'd have 3 sets of those in a thing. So you had to go out and Google and pull out the calipers and stuff like that. I know way too much about washers now and how they're categorized. So, but yeah, it'll take 3 days. So if you had a Tare weight system, but that's really not going to help either because that's just going to 8 is 8 is 8, right? So, but it might speed it up. I don't know. Jury's out. So, good news is that it's counted. So the really good news is tomorrow I get to start working on the main spars of the wings. So how exciting is that? So there's a lot of countersinking, and there's countersinking at 2 depths. There's countersinking at the skin depth, and then there's a countersinking at the nut plate depth. So when you're putting in a nut plate, and the nut plate, for those that don't know, it's basically an attached nut that you can screw into. So when we're putting those nut plates in, those are countersunk, so the rivet sits flush. When you're doing a skin, you have to go a little bit more to account for the skin, so it will sit flush. And I'll talk a little bit more about that, and how I calibrated my jigs. I actually had 2 of the cages and we'll talk about that tomorrow. Don't want to get ahead of myself. So, but stay tuned. We'll have more video. And like I said, so the video that you're seeing this one in is a compilation of like about 3 days of just me coming in and taking random stuff and everything and dodging the lightning and the storms. So, but yeah, that's about it. I'm going to go home, call it a night. Got my goal done for today. Got everything where all my parts where they needed to be, and now I can get in here tomorrow. I'm going to clean up the shop a little bit, organize it a little bit more, get some stuff out the floor. I actually combined some parts together out of other sustainers and everything. But yeah, if you're going to do this at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I'd say 10. You know, get about 10 of these rigid sustainers. And that should Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at I'm just looking at how many I got. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10. 10 more. Huh? it's been a, it's been a brutal few hours, and don't let the sun kid you. It is later in the evening. It's about 7 o'clock here in Florida. So, all right, guys and gals, I just like to say thanks for joining me. If you got any questions, concerns, comments, real comments, I actually had to delete a comment. Someone question mark. Someone put question mark, question mark, question mark. Well, I know what that means. Is like why, but why can't you just say why? I don't speak in text language. I speak in English, or it doesn't have to necessarily be English. I can translate. I don't want to be that egotistical. Oh, you got to talk to me in English. No, I can translate it, but you have to put it in a sentence. Put it in a sentence, and I'll respond back to you. If you don't, I'm just going to delete it. So, and if you do it again, I'm just going to delete you from the YouTube. So I have no idea. Question mark, question mark, question mark. I get it. It's probably meaning why, but it's not my job to figure out what you're thinking. So, but if you have a real comment or a real question about building the airplane, feel free to give me a shout. Some really cool things I'm going to share with you guys here in a little bit. Next week actually this week is fun. Sun and Fun starts. I will be going there Saturday. I'll be there Saturday. So hopefully Jason and Plane Lady, they'll be there, and I'll get to meet them. But I'll be there Saturday and everything. And if you see me, say hi. If you don't, okay, whatever. But that's about it. Like always, take care, be safe, take care of your family, and may God bless you guys. Take care.